turn right, and then turn at the first left. Turn left. Turn right. Turn right. Turn right. After 1 mile, turn left.
Rivers and Jack Can Ain't Nobody, 8:24, BBC Radio 2. Woohoo! 5 points for today's quiz. That's 2 weeks on the trot, says Susan McKeon in Lincolnshire. Sounding confident. Think I have them all, says Sharon, struggling on the treadmill. We reckon we got 5 out of 5 this morning. Phil and Nina in Swanage. Good morning. Definitely a 4 this week. I was let down by my lack of book knowledge, or in other words, my refusal to read books, says Luke in Bristol. Gary, I think I got 5 out of 5 today, says Sarah in Lanzarote. Well, they're all doing well. I wonder how we're doing. Time for the moment of truth. How do you reckon you've done, Richie?
I've had a go. I've done my best. I reckon I've done my best.
Claire Runacres, how do you think you've done?
I feel quite confident. I think I've definitely got 3.
Okay.
How about you, Gary?
I think I have 3.
Ooh, tiebreaker coming up.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And I cheated on one as well.
Outrageous behaviour. Zoe wouldn't do that.
I'm telling you I cheated on one.
That's right, she wouldn't tell us.
Yeah. Okay, Jay. Jay? Okay, let's find out the moment of truth. So you're going to ask a question and we give you the answers, all right?
I'm just going to run through the question and give you the answers and see how you got on, see who got it right.
Okay.
So, number 1, Lily James played a young Donna in which 2018 movie? The correct title is Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
Ooh, I put Mamma Mia 2.
No.
Oh, come on.
I actually put that in the notes as well. It's Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
Oh, did anyone get that?
Richie?
I just put Mamma Mia.
I cheated and put Mamma Mia and still got it wrong. So
That'll teach you, won't it?
So that's it. Is that 0 point for all of us?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Question 2.
Number 2, how many pods are there on the London Eye? There are 32.
I was going to say that.
That's what they always say.
What do they represent?
They represent each of London's boroughs. errors.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Makes sense.
That's an for me.
What did you put?
I put 40.
I put 40. It's great minds.
Great minds.
Richie?
I put 150, but it's not that never cute to get on.
Fall over.
So it's still nil point. Okay, question 3, Jay.
Question 3. Medically, what do the letters BMI stand for? It's Body Mass Index.
We all got that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good. Question 4.
Number 4. Through the Looking Glass was the sequel to which novel? It's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
Oh, I put Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yes, go on. I did exactly the same, Gary. I'm with you.
Okay, Richie?
I put Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because I know the sequel is something about glass, but obviously it's not that.
It's a great glass elevator.
Oh, there it is there.
I know my children's books.
So Clara and I were both on 2.
Yes.
All right, and the last one.
And question 5. According to Greek legend, everything King Midas touched turned to gold.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a trick question, but it wasn't. So very well done. So let's tot up the scores. I make that Claire and I tying on 3 each. Is that
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and Richie on 2.
So as the soundtrack has said, I'm out.
Okay. So does that mean we go to a tiebreak to find out who wins?
Yes.
Okay, go on then.
Your tiebreaker is Pong, one of the earliest examples of video games which was based on table tennis,
Yeah.
was released in which year?
It's tough, isn't it? I'm going to go for 1982, which is a complete arbitrary guess.
I'm going to go for 1983.
Oh.
Are we close?
Not really.
Sort of. It was 1972.
Yeah.
Oh,
Greatest player
gosh, that's
takes it.
so many
72
years.
is clear.
Oh, sorry, Gary. I'm sorry. You snatched it away from me there.
I can't believe that. You did it again. I mean, that is 2 weeks on the trot, huh?
Yeah.
Well. Listen,
Commiserations, Gary.
congratulations to you, and commiserations to Richie. Poor old Richie. But we'll see you next week, Jay.
Yes, definitely.
All right, thanks a lot. And Richie,
We'll start in Falkirk on the M80, the southbound side. Queues at the moment between 6A for Castle Carey and 6. That's because of an accident on the M6 South. Elena on the exit Slip Road at 31 because of a police incident. Still got this closure on the M6 North though, so that's at 14 for Stafford. There was an accident. There's also been a spillage of wood chippings on the road, so nothing can get past at the moment. And finally, M11, we've got a lane out both ways between 12 and 13 for Cambridge. It's whilst they carry out emergency barrier repairs. But Gary Davies, you are up to date.
thank you, Richie. Let's catch up with the latest news headlines now with our champion, Claire.
Yes, the BBC News headlines at 8:30. Britney Spears has won a bitter legal battle in California, ending an agreement which meant her father controlled her finances. The singer said Jamie Spears had behaved in an abusive manner. He'd claimed he'd acted in the pop star's best interests. Prosecutors are calling for the police officer who kidnapped, raped and murdered Sarah Everard to receive a whole life order, meaning he would die in jail. 48-year-old Wayne Couzens will be sentenced this morning. A Treasury Minister said there'll be job losses as a result of the end of the furlough scheme today, but couldn't give an estimate as how many. The Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Simon Clarke, said a £500 million grant scheme would help those who needed it most with food and other essentials. And pupils taking GCSE and A-level exams in England next year will receive fewer top grades than this year's group. The Department for Education and the exams regulator Ofqual says grades will return to their normal levels the following year. The weather unsettled and windy today with outbreaks of heavy rain. And that's the BBC News. Our next at 9.
Thank you, champion.
Listen live on the BBC Sounds app.
Jason Manford is our guest this morning. We will catch up with him in a few minutes from now.
Twisting my melon, man. You know he talks so with it, man. You twisting my melon, man. Holy chops.
Radio 2 Breakfast Show with Gary Davis.
You're like a sunshine, only giving good vibes anytime that you rolling. Pulling me out, never letting me down, and I wanna make sure you know it. You're like a sunshine, only giving good vibes anytime that you rolling. Can't believe that I found my sunshine. Hey, everyone's trying to be the same. Till I met you, I was on that way. But you really are something different. You do you, it must be nice, and I think it's rubbing off on me. Oh yeah, step to the left, step to the right, do what you want. What really matters is the journey that we're on. Yeah, riding with you, I'm finally know where I belong. I belong. You're like a sunshine, only giving good vibes anytime that you roll. Pulling me out, never letting me down, and I wanna make sure you know it. You're like a sunshine, only giving good vibes anytime that you roll. Can't believe that I found my sunshine. Oh, I was feeling so invisible. Yeah, I didn't know this could be possible. Alright, but you really know something different. You do you, just work it out, and I think it's rubbing off on me. Oh yeah, step to the left, step to the right, do what you want. What really matters is the journey that we're on. Yeah, riding with you, I'm finally know where I belong. I belong. You're like a sunshine, only giving good vibes anytime that you roll. Pulling me out, never letting me down, and I wanna make sure you know it. You're like a sunshine, only giving good vibes anytime that you roll. Can't believe that I found my sunshine. You're like a sunshine, only giving good vibes anytime that you roll. Pulling me out, never letting me down, and I wanna make sure you know it. You're like a sunshine, only giving good vibes anytime that you roll. Can't believe that I found my sunshine. You're my sunshine.
Happy Monday, Step On, Liam Payne's Sunshine, which features on the soundtrack to the Disney animated film Ron's Gone Wrong, which is coming out next month. So today's 30th anniversary is Simply Red releasing their fourth album, Stars. It's one of the best-selling albums of all time and the best-selling album of both 1991 and 1992. It's also the 30th anniversary of the first episode of The Jerry Springer Show, airing in the US. The show lasted for 28 seasons before ending in July 2018. Swanage Blues and Roots Festival starts today. And Lady Gaga hosts a one-off global live stream concert in in celebration of a forthcoming album with Tony Bennett, which is called Love for Sale. Jason Manford is our guest. We'll chat to him next.
Escape with a good book on BBC Sounds. Step into the F. Scott Fitzgerald classic, The Great Gatsby.
If personality is an unbroken series of successful gestures, then there was something gorgeous about him.
Find humour and heartbreak in Big Girl, Small Town by Michelle Gallen.
Magella thought that she should condense her whole list of things she wasn't keen on into a single item. Other people.
Or fall in love with the Sally Rooney novel, Beautiful World, Where Are You?
The woman at the table tapped her fingers on the beer mat, waiting. Her outward attitude had become more alert since the man had entered the room.
Listen on the BBC Sounds app.
Enter the roundabout.
Say 40 BBC Radio 2. Now, you better not moan about our next guest. He's a singer, an actor, podcaster, an award-winning funny guy who you may have seen disguised as a hedgehog just once or twice. He's back to discuss Britain's favourite pastime, which we've been doing all morning in his honour, complaining. Good morning, Jason Manford.
Morning, how are you, Gary?
I'm very well, thank you. Firstly, I've just got to say, how's your arm? Because I noticed on social media the other day you had in a sling.
Yeah, just a little operation on my... I noticed from doing... This sounds really silly, but I think it might be from holding the microphone every night for 2 hours. I've got a comedian's shoulder.
Really?
Yeah, it's my rotator cuff, but yeah, I think holding the microphone 2 hours and a half.
Wow, I suffer from
wear and tear.
I suffer from DJ's finger from pushing all the buttons all the time, the faders up and down. Well, I hope it gets better soon.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now, your new show on Comedy Central is the Complaints Department. Which obviously is all about complaining. Do you like a good moan?
Do you know what? I thought I wasn't much of a moaner, but I got to say, the older I've got now in my 40s, I definitely feel a bit freer to have a good moan about something. If something bothers me, I'll feel free to mention it. Yeah,
do you have a favourite sort of moaning subject?
I had a moan recently at the gym where the lifeguard wouldn't let me in with 4 of my children because they said, "Oh, there's too many children." I went, "I know." No, there's too many children to get in the pool. So I had a bit of a stress on that. But no, I like opening up the local newspaper and just seeing somebody really angrily pointing at something, a pothole or something, a noise outside.
Yeah. For those who haven't caught up with the series yet, just tell us how it works and all the different rounds that you have in there.
Yeah, so it's a comedy panel show. It's on Comedy Central on Monday evenings. It's called the Complaints Department. We've got loads of great guests: Jimmy Carr and Sarah Millican, Russell Kane and Sarah Pascoe, and loads of other comics that you'll see on there, Dane Baptiste. And we sort of celebrate the British pastime of moaning, really. It's I thought it was going to be a show where we would almost take the mickey out of these people who were a bit oversensitive and moaned at things. But actually, invariably, you sort of side with them. You go, "No, actually, that's right. The council shouldn't have done that." So it's quite a good. It's a fun celebration of it.
Has anyone ever complained about you?
Oh, invariably. I'm sure there's somebody on Twitter right now. In the process of it, you've just got to not, not take it personally. You can please some of the people some of the time, as they famously say.
Have you ever had any funny complaints about you?
I had a very odd one once, which was on a forum years ago, which said the problem I have with Jason Manford is he tries too hard to be liked, and I thought I really can't win with that, can I? It's the only way I would be able to win that is if I went the opposite and tried not to be.
It's true.
But no, generally, the funniest thing I think is for me is being on tour. Is happens is people ask you questions. Like, I get people saying, you obviously get the what time does it start, what time does it finish, which is sort of all right. But sometimes you get people saying, is there an Indian restaurant near the venue, Jace? Like I'm some sort of my own show.
I love that. On the complaints department, you ask your guests to what they make a petition for. I know Sarah Millican said you make a petition for fast and slow lanes on pavements.
Yeah,
which I love that. What would you petition for?
I think I would have an area of the car park for smaller cars and bigger cars, because the anger that rages inside of me when you think you've seen a space, but when you get there, it's just a Cinquecento hiding behind an Audi. That really boils my blood.
I know,
So
because you get so excited. God, there's a space there. I'm going to fit there.
I've got one.
It just doesn't happen.
And it's just a little car hiding behind a big car. Oh, livid.
Jason, we'll chat more in a sec, right after Ella Henderson.
Going to the river to pray, 'cause I need something that can wash out the pain. And I'm sleeping all these demons away. But your ghost, the ghost of you, it keeps me awake. My friends had you figured out. Yeah, there's so much inside of you. You try hiding another you, but your evil is coming through. These eyes sitting on the wall, but they watch every move I make. White light living in the shade. Your cold heart makes the spirit shake. I had to go through hell to prove I'm not insane. And to meet the devil just to know his name. And that's when my love was burning. Yeah, it's still burning. I keep going to the river to pray, 'cause I need something that can wash out the pain. And I know I'm sleeping all these demons away. But your ghost, the ghost of you, it keeps me awake. I keep going to the river to pray, 'cause I need something that can wash out the pain. And I know I'm sleeping all these demons away. But your ghost, the ghost of you, it keeps me awake. Each time that I pick you up, I turn around and you're creeping in. And I let you under my skin, 'cause I love living in the sin. Oh, you know it's on me. True love was gonna hurt. True pain I don't deserve. Truth is that I never learned. I keep going to the river to pray, 'cause I need something that can wash out the pain. And I know I'm sleeping all these demons away. But your ghost, the ghost of you, it keeps me awake. I keep going to the river to pray, 'cause I need something that can wash out the pain. And I know I'm sleeping all these demons away. But your ghost, the ghost of you, it keeps me awake. Give up the ghost. Give up the ghost. Give up the ghost. Stop the haunting, baby. Give up the ghost. Give up the ghost. Give up the ghost. No more haunting, baby. I keep going to the river. I keep going to the river to pray, 'cause I need something that can wash out the pain. And I know I'm sleeping all these demons away. But your ghost, the ghost of you, it keeps me awake. I keep going to the river to pray, 'cause I need something that can wash out the pain. And I know I'm sleeping all these demons away. But your ghost, the ghost of you, it keeps me awake.
Ella Henderson and Ghost is 8:48. Jason Manford is our guest this morning. He's got a new show on Comedy Central called The Complaints Department. Jason, what's the funniest or most bizarre complaint that you've encountered on the show so far?
Oh, crikey, there was so many of them, from reviews of service stations to... I quite like, there was one we had last week where it was a woman who was just pointing at grass outside her house. Clumps of that, and it was actually not that bizarre. It was just annoyed that the council hadn't cleaned up after they'd mowed the grass. But there's just a moment you think that the photographers have to go, right, just stand there, point at that grass, like the whole. It's so British. Like I don't think anyone else in the world has just angry people pointing at things like we do. We're amazing at it.
And you love it when photographs are taken of the conclave, don't you?
Yeah, oh yeah, that really sells it.
Now you've got quite possibly the biggest stand-up tour of your life underway at the moment, called Like Me.
Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah, it's well, we've got to make up for lost time, haven't we?
Yeah. Has this been sort of carried on from? Was this supposed to happen earlier before the pandemic?
It was, yeah. It was supposed to. I'm supposed to be coming to the end of it now. That's the beginning of it. So yeah, it was supposed to happen last year, and then obviously delays and whatnot. So we're cracking on now, and we go on till next November.
Wow. Where were you?
Yeah,
were you on stage last night?
I was, yeah. I was in Warrington last night.
How was it?
Yeah, great. Do you know what, Gary? It's so lovely because the audiences are so happy to be out of the house and joining in and being in the theatres again. I mean, it is mad that I was watching the Euros over the summer and just thinking, I know they're outside, but our football audiences and crowds have been trusted more than theatre crowds. Like, who are the governments going, who do we trust more to follow these rules? Football fans or theatre fans? That fellow with a rocket on his backside outside Wembley, or 6 old ladies who want to go with Mamma Mia. So it's been a long time coming, but we're really grateful to be back.
So the show's called Like Me. Is there a theme?
I'd like to pretend that there is. I sound like a cleverer comedian than I am, but to be honest, it's just 2.5 hours of a good time, really. Lots of laughs and funnies. Yeah, there's a little theme sort of linking through, but it's more just a bit of a recap of what's been going on, the madness that we've all gone through over the last sort of year and a half, and just an excuse to get together and have a laugh. And we're sort of we're everywhere. I'm not sort of one of those comics who just does the big cities and you come and find me. Like, I'm pretty much everywhere.
Where's your favourite place to visit?
I have loads of different places, really. I love going up to Scotland, into Wales and then down into the south. But obviously, the home crowds of sort of Manchester and Liverpool are always great as well. And at the end of next year, when we hit the arenas and those huge venues, that's always exciting as well. And I guess historically, the Palladium. I'm at the Palladium next week, and that's the one. 2 nights at the Palladium. I hope I don't make the same mistake as I made last time, Gary. Dear old Sir Bruce, his ashes are underneath the stage.
Yeah.
And it was just recently after he passed away, and so I said a few words about Sir Bruce and what he meant to me as an entertainer, and I said to the crowd, and he'll be down there now looking up at me. And obviously what I meant was, his ashes are under the stage. Yeah, I don't mean he's down there. I think he's up there. He certainly is up there. But yeah, I think he got misconstrued by the crowd.
Well, if anyone would understand, he would.
Exactly. He'd see the funny side.
Your brand new show, The Complaints Department, continues Monday, 9 p.m. on Comedy Central, and tickets are available now for your tour, Like Me. Wish you the best of luck, mate, and thanks so much for coming on today. All the best.
All the best. Take care.
Cheers.
Give me that good love, good love all day.
says, can you ask Jason how we can moan successfully without morphing into Victor Meldrew? My wife says I'm halfway there already. Love that.
Richie Anderson. Oh, Gary Davis. We'll start in Falkirk on the M80, the southbound side. Queuing at the moment between 6A and 6 because of an accident earlier on. The queues for this one are back to 8 and they are slow. M6 South got a lane out on the exit set road at 31 for a police incident. Still got this big closure northbound at 14 for Stafford. There's been an accident and a spillage onto the road. Nothing can get past at the moment and there are delays through Stafford as well as traffic tries to divert. And on the M11, got a lane out both ways between 12 and 13 for Cambridge. They're carrying out emergency barrier repairs. And Gary, you are up to date.
Thank you very much. It's 4 minutes to 9. This is brilliant. Howard Jones' new song on The Breakfast Show, Radio 2. Can you tell my daughter Heidi to hurry up and get up because we're off to watch the new Bond movie later in the morning. How cool is that? That's from Tom in Somerset. I hope you enjoy it. Coming up after 9, Mike Williams with the sport. We will pause for thought with Harvey Belovsky. And Chris Rainbow from Saleby is in charge of Pick Your Own Playlist. 3 songs from him on the way. This is Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker, and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 9 o'clock. This is Claire Ronacres. A judge in Los Angeles has ended Britney Spears' father's control over her financial affairs. Jamie Spears has run the conservatorship that oversees her estate since she suffered mental health issues in 2008. But in recent years, the singer has described the arrangement as abusive. Jamie Spears had urged the court to end the conservatorship completely, but the judge has left it in place for now under an accountant appointed by the singer. These fans, who were outside the court, welcomed the judge's decision.
This is definitely the first step in the right direction, but we still want an end of the conservatorship and just for her to be completely in control of her life again.
It's just creating such a good path for her to be on her own and for them to stop extorting her, manipulating her, and for her to have her say in her own body and her own person, and we just couldn't be happier.
We're excited, but it's not over. We have to go after all those people who helped her father put her in the conservatorship.
The Metropolitan Police officer who murdered Sarah Everard will be sentenced at the Old Bailey today. Yesterday, the court was told that Wayne Couzens had falsely arrested Miss Everard before raping and strangling her. The Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, described the crime as sickening, and he called for a review of the case.
It looks as though there were some telltale signs, there was evidence, there were issues that should have been looked into properly, and they weren't. And it is vital that that review is done. There then needs to be wider reform here because we have nothing in law that is there to support victims, and we need legislation on violence against women and girls.
The government's furlough scheme closes today after 18 months of unprecedented support for workers during the pandemic. About £70 billion has been spent subsidising the wages of 11.5 million people. The Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Simon Clarke, says the government's now offering different support to those whose jobs have been affected by the pandemic.
There is a robust plan for jobs and full support for people, whether that be the Kickstart scheme, the Restart scheme, all those programmes which are designed to help people either entering the labour market or who want to improve their skill set mid-career. And that support, of course, continues today. That lasts long beyond furlough, and it's about making sure that everyone can make the most successful adaptation to a normal labour market situation.
A cut in VAT in the hospitality industry is being phased out from today. Restaurants have warned that prices might have to go up when VAT rises from 5% to 12.5%. The online fashion retailer Boohoo has doubled its market share in the UK and the US since the start of the pandemic. Sales have risen by 20% in the 6 months to August compared with the same period last year, but pre-tax profits have dropped by more than 60% because of extra costs related to the pandemic and Brexit. The weather, there'll be strong gusty winds pushing across the west with some heavy rain. The best of sunshine will be in the northeast of Scotland, highs of 17 Celsius in Cardiff and London, 15 in Edinburgh and 14 in Belfast. BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 9.
Thank you, Claire. Let's catch up with the latest sports news now. Good morning, Mike.
Morning, Gary. Right, sit back. I think you're going to like this one. Fans up and down the country will tell you that sometimes in sport, you just have a premonition, a belief, a conviction that something specific will happen. And it's not just the supporters. Have a listen to Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer speaking on Tuesday this week before his side met Villarreal in the Champions League.
You can almost say when you start with Cristiano, it's almost one guaranteed goal. He has that record in his career that he will score goals, and 13 goals in 14 or 15 games against Villarreal means he enjoys playing against them.
So there's the United boss predicting Cristiano Ronaldo will definitely score against the Spaniards. Fast forward to last night then, and it's 1-1 with 95 minutes on the clock at Old Trafford. There's just seconds left of the match, and it looks like Ollie's premonition was a false dawn. But you know how this story ends.
Lingard there, tees it back, Ronaldo! Right out again! Cristiano Ronaldo! Manchester United have turned it around, and Cristiano Ronaldo has got a dramatic winner for Manchester United.
A Ronaldo winner with less than 30 seconds remaining took the roof off Old Trafford last night. It gives United their first victory in this season's Champions League and proves the manager was right all along.
He's so strong mentally. He just stays in the game. I've seen him all day, the way he's built himself up for his game, how focused he's been, and when he gets that one chance, it's a goal.
Meanwhile, bad night for Chelsea. The defending champions were beaten 1-0 by Juventus in Turin. Back here in the Championship last night, there were wins for Fulham, Luton, Millwall, Forest and Derby. And Arsenal are into the semi-finals of the Women's FA Cup. The WSL leaders thrashed Spurs 5-1. They'll play Brighton in the semis. Chelsea will play Man City in the other semi after they both racked up big wins in the quarter-finals yesterday. So loads of football around last night, Gary, but I know which match you will have been glued to.
Do you know what? I think that is one of your best sports reports ever.
I thought you might say that, you know. It's funny because last time you were on back in May was when United played Villarreal in the Europa League final.
And I was
had that epic penalty shootout.
I know, and I was really worried because I thought that me doing the breakfast show would jinx United against Villarreal. And I was watching it in bed last night, you know, thinking, oh no, it's jinx. And then that goal at the last second.
Ronaldo to the rescue.
It was amazing. All right, Mike, thanks a lot. Have a good day. Cheers, mate.
On the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker, and on 88 to 91 FM.
Good morning, Gary, and for Zoe. And this is the time when you take over the radio station and pick your own playlist. Today's songs are picked by Chris Rainbow from Selby in Lincolnshire. He lives with his wife Tammy and their two children Archie and Ellie. He and Tammy also run their own printing business, and they make children's colouring books. Morning, Chris.
Thanks so much for picking my playlist. I've been a keen runner all my life, but now enjoy a slower pace of life, walking around the Lincolnshire hills. We're going back to the tail end of the 80s this morning. In the mix, we have a club classic, 10 City, That's the Way Love Is. This always started our nights out in Skegness. We're ending on Buffalo Stamps by Nana Cherry. What a great record. But first, we're starting with one of the best songs ever written. It's The Whole of the Moon by the Waterboys.
You held it in your hands. I had flashes. You saw the plan. I wandered out in the world for years, while you just stayed in your room. I saw the crescent. Too far, too soon.
the Radio 2 Breakfast Show.
Pick your own playlist.
Playlist on BBC Radio 2.
Bras, sucking beer,
rock this place. What is he like? What's he like anyway? Oh man, what do you expect? The guy's a gigolo, man. You know what I mean? No money man with my love. Sweetness that I'm thinking of. We do the dive every time we dance. I give you love, baby, not romance. I make a move, nothing less than chance. Don't get fresh back. Wind on my face, sound in my ears. Water for my eyes. Deeper
Surround platform, then take the second exit.
with my love. Sweetness that I'm thinking of.
So much love for this Pick Your Own playlist. It's been chosen by Chris Rainbow in Saleby in Lincolnshire. Catherine says, OMG, two of my all-time favourite songs back-to-back, The Whole of the Moon and That's the Way Love Is, and My Day Is Made. Pick your own playlist, says Nick. Tucker, whoever's picking this playlist, has taste in abundance. Lynn Quickly says, brilliant playlist. Sat listening and reminiscing on a train. Great start to the morning. And Sarah Newcastle says, what an awesome playlist this morning. It's like your Friday night show. Breakfast. Love, love, love. So well done to you, Chris Rainbow. Waterboys, The Whole of the Moon, 10 City. That's the Way Love Is. And Nena Cherry, Buffalo Stance. And Chris did it today. If you want to do it tomorrow, just drop an email to zoeball@bbc.co.uk. Canberra's coming up at 9:30 today. And Marie choosing the track to leaders. And of course, there will be Pop Master. 12 to 2 is Jeremy Vine. Righty will be chatting to best-selling author Leon Moriarty about her new novel, which is the Radio 2 Book Club Book of the Month. And active writer Ben Miller is the guest reviewer. Sarah, between 5 and 7 till 9, Joe Wiley chats to Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl about his new book. And then at 9 o'clock tonight is the Country Show with Bob Harris. What's on the show, Bob?
Well, it really is a very special country show this evening. I've got incredible new music from Carly Pearce, Addie Victoria, Mickey Guyton and Eric Church. The issue of the week features one of country music's founding fathers, Tennessee Ernie Ford, and a world exclusive, the brand new track from Kiefer Sutherland. It all begins tonight at 9 o'clock.
Love it. Jack Bauer making music. How cool is that? That's Bob between 9 and 10. 10 till midnight, Trevor Nelson's Rhythm Nation. And at midnight till 3, OJ Borge.
Here we are, Shaggy's Reggae Hot Shot.
Saturday night at 9. Shaggy's taking a trip through 60 years of reggae hits.
My favorite ska, rock steady, reggae, and dancehall too.
The electric slide was the dance to do, and the whole party was just doing this.
Shaggy's Reggae Hot Shots.
Join me.
Saturday night at 9.
At 9:22, let's take a breath and time to pause for thought with Rabbi Harvey Belovsky. Morning, Harvey.
Good morning, Gary. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Excellent. I am really very well, thank you. Although the most intense period of the Jewish calendar ended last night. After almost a month of festivals, including the Jewish New Year, the Day of Atonement, and Sukkot, that's the one when we live in huts, it's finally over. It's been exhausting, but absolutely exhilarating. I've spoken dozens of times, led countless services, and I've done my best to inspire and entertain the members of my wonderful community throughout. Initial feedback suggests that it's all been worth it. Some might be wondering what happens on the day after, apart from clearing up the mess and trying to get some sleep. It's a bigger question that applies not just to rabbis finishing their busy season, but to the day after any major life event that's preceded by a major build-up. It could be a wedding, a significant birthday, maybe leaving a job, What does the next day look like? How do we deal with the lack of focus once it's all over without becoming deflated? Ancient Jewish tradition helps us to think about this. It names the day after the festivals are over Isru Chag, words from songs that mean something like tie the festival. A modern alternative might be hardwire the festival. It's an odd phrase with a simple message. The festival season was never intended to fade into nothing more than a distant memory. Instead, the Jewish way is to try to hardwire the inspiration, celebration, love, and commitment to change of the festival into the day after they finish and into life beyond. I believe we feel sad the day after a family wedding or a festival because the excitement of the day has been and gone and there's nothing to look forward to. But it seems to me that weddings and the like are really about celebrating new beginnings, the start of a couple's married life together, or a fresh way of thinking about life after the festivals are over. By focusing on beginnings rather than ends, we can hardwire the wedding or festival mindset into daily life. And I've come to realise that this was really the purpose of the festivals all along. The extraordinary highs of the Day of Atonement or a wedding aren't sustainable, but they don't have to be. Even once they're over, the moments are hardwired into our consciousness, a part of us for good.
That's excellent. Thank you very much indeed, Harvey.
It's a great pleasure. Lovely to be with you, Gary.
Always, always. You too. Take care. On the show tomorrow, it's going to be a very busy show. Sugar Babes, broadcasters Fee Glover and Jane Garvey, and live music from Becky Hill at Maida Vale. It'll either be with me or with Zoe if she's feeling better. Whoever does it. It's going to be a great show. This is the last one from me, Amy Stewart and Friends, cracking song to go out. song. That's called Friends. And here's my friend Richie Ents.
Oh, thank you so much, Gary. M60 anti-clockwise is slow at 11 for Barton at the moment because of a breakdown. M6 North have got a lane out on the entry slip at 20 because of a broken down lorry. Got a closure at 14 for Stafford. There's been an accident in a spillage. Nothing can get past and queues are back to 13. M11, we've got a lane out at the moment between 12 and 13 for Cambridge for emergency repairs. And on the A13 in Thurrock, it's partially blocked to the M25 junction 30 because of a demonstration. More with Ken in 25 minutes.
Thank you, Richie. Well, we've been moaning all morning, so instead of the 10 o'clock news, we'll do the 10 o'clock moans. What you got, Claire?
Well, Diane from West Sussex has been in touch, and she says she really dislikes it when people say something instead of something. She says there's no such word. She also says, Gary, thanks for standing in for Zoe, and she hopes Zoe's feeling better soon and sends all her love from the Radio 2 listeners.
Here, Richie.
I've got something for you. Sorry. Kia's been on to say my pet moan is people parking on pavements, forcing you to walk around on the road with pushchairs. So selfish.
And Jim says pet moans: 1, adverts that say not actual gameplay, and 2, pricing for broadband or mobile phones with a setup charge, meaning cost per month is not as good as indicated. He's not happy about that. That'll just about do it. Thank you so much for your company today. Might see you tomorrow, might not. Who knows? Whatever, it's going to be a great show. Have a great day. And here is a man who never moans.
Absolutely never. How long have you got? It isn't it exciting, though, not knowing what you're going to be doing one day to the next? You see, this keeps you lively, doesn't it?
Story of my life, mate.
Well, you'll be on tomorrow, come what may.
Exactly.
Doing Sounds of the 80s, of course, in the evening. Looking forward to that, but hope to see, perhaps speak to you tomorrow morning.
That would be nice.
Who knows?
All right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Listen live on the BBC Sounds app.
Yards to right.
There's Madonna having a lovely holiday. Well, why don't you? I mean, why? You deserve something. You deserve a lovely long weekend break. Honestly, you do. So why don't you leave now, off your pop, and by Sunday night, well, you might just have reached the front of the queue at the petrol station. If you've got something else you've got time to do, it could be this.
For your chance to play Popmaster, email your name, contact number and top 3 pop passions to popmaster@bbc.co.uk. See all the terms and conditions at the Radio 2 website.
Yes, have a look at those. You've plenty of time for reading. Album of the week you'll hear a bit later. It's Firebird by Natalie Imbruglia. More My Universe. Coldplay and BTS together have that. It's our record of the week. And choosing the tracks of her years, fabulous. Anne-Marie, you've seen her as the coach on The Voice, but now she's added another string to her bow as well as singing and writing songs. And today, Anne-Marie releases her first book called You Deserve Better, in which she speaks rather honestly about body image, mental health, being successful at work, and much more. That's Anne-Marie choosing tracks of her years for us later. This is Ed Sheeran. He seems to be turning into Bryan Adams. Not in sound, and the length of time he's staying at number 1.
An arrow to the heart. I never kissed a mouth that tastes like yours. Strawberries and something more. Oh yeah, I want it all. Let the stick on my guitar. Fill up the engine, we can drive real far. Go dancing underneath the stars. Oh yeah, I want it all. Got me feeling like I wanna be that guy. I wanna kiss you right. I wanna drink that you smile. I wanna feel like our souls on fire. I wanna stay up and all night. Yeah, got me feeling like when you're closer. And arms, ooh, I can get enough.